So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right
Good.
Hey, what's up everyone? I've been away for a while, I know, sorry about that. But I came back, and when I came back to a full celebration on TikTok about how men are lonely. So let's take a look at some of this together.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now.
Oh no. Anything but that. What a shame. You know, I'd recommend smiling more. I hear that.
Helps. The least you can do is wait until you finish talking and then ending your video. Anyway, one more.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now.
Aww. Is this the consequences of your own actions? Wait, I'm sorry. We're addressing men's issues, so this is a serious matter. Have you guys ever heard of Eat, Love, Pray? There's a therapy app for that. You know, cats are an option. Yeah, they're very independent. They're independent, strong women. I can confirm having a cat helps. It helps. So you know, you might want to grow old with your cats or something. Like, I don't know. Have you tried just like picking better women? I've been told that smiling more helps. Maybe if you just didn't let yourselves go. You know, you gotta stay tight. You know, I saw this ad the other day that said that you can focus. This ad said that you could save 15% or more on your loneliness by being fucking nice. Have you tried life with a side of respect? Like, and finally, here's the real shocker. Okay, are you okay? Have you tried looking at women as actual human beings and equal? I'm just a thought.
Not really a thought I'll consider, but I mean, sure, yeah. How did you even just throw independent women into the conversation? Funny enough, you threw that in just after you mentioned cats, but anyway, let's move on.
So I'm not going to pretend I have any answers for this male loneliness epidemic thing going on, because I feel like it's a complex issue, and also some of those guys, it is their fault, and then others it's not. But something I've always found really interesting is that in platonic female friendships, women are very strongly encouraged to give each other a lot of both emotional and physical love and support. And I'm not saying that every woman has friends like that and no men have friends like that. I'm just talking about like what's generally encouraged by society. During the time periods in my life where I've been single, at least as an adult, I've never felt lonely or alone. And never felt a rush to get into a relationship because I have a lot of physical and emotional love and support from my female friends around me. I get a lot of hugs, I get a lot of compliments, I get a lot of like, you are important to me and I value you in my life, let's spend time together, etc. But I was talking to a male friend about this recently, and he was saying that the last time that he got like a genuine hug from a man was when he was like 12. And so the only real genuine physical contact that he ever gets is if he's either hooking up with or in a relationship with a woman. And ironically, the guys I know who do treat their friendships like that are often made fun of for being feminine. Again, I'm not presenting this as like an answer to a problem or something, it's just something relevant that I've been thinking about.
She's the only one I found not really celebrating male loneliness, and she is in fact more closer to home. All the others try to make it about men not being able to sleep with women, but in return this one pretty much nailed it. We'll talk about that later on. Now, before we get into the next one, let me read the comment she's responding to. I mean, it's true, women and men age very differently. Much easier for a man to get married even at 50 than a woman at 30. Now let's watch her response.
Says who? You? Because science and scientists and statistics say the complete opposite of what you're saying. Let's have a look. Since she wanted to make it a competition, there is a male loneliness epidemic right now happening. And you know, if men like you weren't so obsessed with trying to prove that you as a man are the superior sex and women are nothing, maybe women would feel a bit differently towards you. But you're so focused on telling women they ain't nothing, men are this, men are that, and you're just wrong. And this is why there's a male loneliness epidemic. This is why women don't want to get married to men like you anymore. This is why men are growing up old and alone and women still have community. So maybe if you focused on expanding your emotional intelligence and focused on being a better man, your life would be a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, no, my life is great and sleeping with women it's not the only focus in my life. Hard to believe, I know, for someone who's just as emotionally intelligent as you are. From this point it's gonna be just me talking, so if you're Xing out of the video, thank you for watching this long. Let's start with the first point, the study made about how women age better than men. Even though if you're not finished, it doesn't apply to you because the environment has something to do with your aging process. As does food and the way you live your life also matter. Anyway, let me try to keep this short. Let me read this from the study you have mentioned. In most ways, women age better than men and live longer. Under almost any condition we can imagine, women do better. Seriously? A study about aging is telling you that women do better in any condition. I can see why you chose this study because it fits your narrative. Women are better than men at everything. If we look at a different study from a medical perspective, not women are better than men, we have something like this. Aging has to do with collagen, protein found in skin and connective tissues. Males lose collagen earlier and more consistently throughout life. Females tend to keep more until menopause when they lose it at a dramatic rate. So while males slowly, gradually look older, females experience a more sudden, marked change in how old they look. Now let's take a look at the male loneliness, and I appreciate you for showing me the name of that guy who wrote some articles, as did so many others, because they're not the ones who made the studies. Are men okay? In all likelihood they'll never tell you. Only 21% of men say they received emotional support from a friend, compared to 41% of women according to a 2022 survey by the Survey Center on American Life. Similarly, just 25% of men say they've said I love you to a friend recently, as opposed to 49% of women. And that right there is the best part. It has nothing to do with men being able to sleep with you. This whole male loneliness idea started because men don't say I love you to each other. No gender has a lock on loneliness, but men in particular seem to be struggling with the basics of making friends today. Surveys indicate that men have a much sharper decline than women in their close friendships over the past 30 years. A higher percentage of men than women report having no close friends at all, 15% versus 10%. Men receive less emotional support from friends than do women, and they are less likely than women to admit being lonely, so they pretty much started guessing that men are lonely. From the same article, pursuing hobby is widely recognized as a good way to meet people and establish connections, but the folks who study this sort of thing say it's especially useful for men because of a fundamental difference in how the genders bond. Boiled down, women talk, men do stuff. I already made this way too long, I'm sorry about that, I got you all bored, but I'll try to wrap this up. This is what that Mark Green guy said in his article. In a survey published by AARP in 2010, we learned that 1 in 3 adults aged 45 or older reported being chronically lonely. Keep in mind that he said adults aged 45 or older, he never mentioned men only. And when you click on that survey published by AARP in 2010, it will take you straight to this. A nationally representative sample of 3,012 adults aged 45 or older completed a Knowledge Network's online survey between May 26 and June 2nd, 2010. This right here is what started the idea or the narrative that men are lonely. A survey, not even a study, performed on 3,012 Americans nationwide when the entire US population is over 330 million. Personally, I think this entire thing is a joke, but this is just me. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section.
So apparently there's a male loneliness epidemic right now, and I don't want to diminish that. That sounds really tough, but what I don't understand is why some men tell me this as if, like, I'm supposed to do something about it. Like, don't look at me. The most I can personally do is recommend you guys listen to Mitski, like the rest of us. Other than that, I feel like this is between you dudes, you know? And not to point fingers, but maybe if you spent less time telling women there's a male loneliness epidemic in an accusatory tone, and more time asking your boys how their heart is doing, this could all be over.
The problem, though, is that it's only to men that we would say, fix it yourself. It's only to men that we would say, it's your fault. It's only to men that we would say, sounds like men need to do better. It's only to men that we would say, stop complaining about it to me because, again, it's your fault and you need to fix it. And it's only to men that we would say, oh, nobody's listening to you? Well, that's your fault too.